It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's time to let go of the people, places, and things that no longer serve you. And I know you might be like, "Oh man, Chris, well, this person has been with me through everything, but like you have to ask yourself, like, is it still beneficial to you? Like, are you gaining anything, or is it just still and stagnant? It's there because it's familiar. You have to let go of certain things, certain people, in order to receive what's new, the better, in order for you to elevate and move on to the next level. And it hurts. Let's be honest, it's not comfortable when you are in a place where, you start to eliminate the things that don't belong no more. It can be challenging. It can be challenging because let's be honest, you reach a level of just being content and you get stuck in that comfort zone, you get stuck in those routines, you know what I mean, that you kind of shy away from the thought of just letting go. You don't want to upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. So you keep them along and you just kind of straggle them along the fence. You know what I mean? Because again, it's familiar. Y'all have known each other for a decade or so, and that's your partner. You love them, you know, but they haven't grown, they haven't matured, they're kind of just in the same place. Y'all on different paths in life, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. People grow and then they grow apart. It's a part of life, you know? It's time for you to eliminate the things that no longer belong. Even if it hurts, even if it's uncomfortable, you're allowed to grieve those things. Maybe you have been going to a gym for a couple years, and it's the same routine, the same equipment. Maybe it's time to let that gym go and find you another one. Maybe it's time for a different environment, a different feel, a different challenge. Sometimes we get so stuck in our routines and our habits that they actually hold us back. Sometimes you gotta change it up a little bit. Get out of your own way. Get out of routine sometimes. Not saying let go of the routine, but just simply change things up. You know? You can't go through life trying to keep everything the same year after year, because the longer you do that, the more hurt it causes down the road. If it no longer aligns with your spirit, if it no longer aligns with you and where you want to go, you have to remove it. Sometimes we try to hold on to things, and we're trying to elevate, not realizing that that very thing that we're trying to hold on to is what's holding us back. And until you let it go, you won't be able to climb, because we can't take everybody and everything with us. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I mean? We all go through it. We all go through the phase in life where we kind of realize, like, man, I'm ready for the next level. And then it dawns on you that the people around you aren't. Uh you realize that, like, you're in a place that you can't grow because you have outgrown that pot. So you have to be replanted into a bigger pot. You got to be able to tell yourself, you know what? This is uncomfortable. It's unfamiliar. I don't like it, but I'm going to do it. The things that no longer align with who you are today, because that's the thing, when it comes to dealing specifically with people, what ends up happening is, you've known a person for so long and they have known you, but in reality, do they really know you? Because a lot of us who are constantly growing and constantly learning, we aren't the same people we were a year ago, 5 years ago. So you have to keep that in mind, that if that person isn't growing with you and y'all not like here and aligning, it's okay to move on and express that. Maybe it's the city you're in, maybe you've gotten everything you can get out of your hometown, whatever city you've moved to. Maybe you've gotten all you can get. maybe there's nothing else there for you. Maybe it's time to get replanted somewhere else. Start over and start fresh. You know, you can't move through life and having every day be the same over and over and over again, because that's why a lot of people get discouraged, they get depressed, they get sad, because they feel like their life is just like a cycle and it's on repeat every day because they do the same thing. That's why you have to change things up. Maybe, you know, maybe you have to eliminate bad eating habits. You know what I mean? Maybe it's your thought process. Maybe your old way of thinking just isn't beneficial to you no more. So you got to eliminate that and get that up out here and find a new, more healthier way of thinking. And that's not to say the old way of thinking was bad. It just no longer serves you. Maybe you're in therapy. You've been with your therapist for 2 years. You want to go deeper and dive into things more, but you feel stagnant. Maybe it's time to switch therapists. You know, the list can go on. You know what I mean? But you have to make up your mind and you have to decide that the things that I want is going to cost me. It's going to cost you something. The elevation, the growth, the change that you want is going to cost you something. It's not going to be easy. You know, it's not going to always be sunshine and rainbows. It's going to hurt. A lot of people aren't going to understand, and that's okay. It's not for them to understand. You got to remember that, you know, life, you got to make sure you're good. You got to take care of you. You know, even if that means other people being upset with you. I'm not saying be like mean and nasty about certain things. Nah, just be honest. Be honest about it. You know, you outgrow people, you outgrow places, and you outgrow certain things, you know. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's healthy to outgrow certain habits, whether they be bad habits especially, but even some good habits, you know. Maybe you've been consistent, you've been working out, you know, 3 times a week for the past couple of years. And you like, oh man, you know, I want to get into bodybuilding, weightlifting. I want to expand my workout. So maybe you start changing 3 days a week to 4 days a week, and maybe you add on top of your 3 days. Maybe you start running, you know, a few miles every day too. You know what I mean? Like, I can go on about this, you know. So just keep that in mind that anything, you know, that you want is going to require change. It's going to require growth. And some things you have to eliminate. You have to eliminate the things that no longer belong in your life.